Hey, what's up, everybody, man? So, unless you've been living under a rock, y'all know Odell Beckham Jr.'s name has been in the media constantly every single season, especially since he's been traded to Cleveland because he hasn't been putting up elite numbers. People are questioning if he is elite anymore. People saying he's overrated. People saying that we're not using him right. People saying we should trade him. People saying we're holding him back. People saying Baker Mayfield's specifically holding him back, etc., etc., etc. So, enough of all these narratives and false rumors and etc., etc. How about I come here every single week and show y'all what Odell Beckham Jr. is doing against his matchup every single week so we can see what's really going on out there, you feel me? So, let's really hop into it. So, starting with the first play, Odell, he ends up getting a good release off the line, gets the inside advantage and everything, but it doesn't really matter because they're running zone anyway. So, Odell Beckham Jr., he's just running across field until he gets the opportunity right here, wide open. Baker can hit him if he wants to, but instead, he takes the shot deeper to the tight end instead on the sideline, but the defense was better than what Baker Mayfield thought it was. Now right here we got Odell in the slot. He ends up, boom, hard step to the right, comes in for the in route. The linebacker starts holding him early, and Baker cannot connect with Odell. Simply because that linebacker low-key pass interfered and they didn't call it. It goes right off the fingertips. Right here we got Odell lined up in the slot again. And he runs a good route. Comes off the line of scrimmage. Boom. Sells that he's going in. Comes over, swims over the defender. Comes back in again. Then goes out to get the separation and helps move the chains. I don't think any other receiver on the roster would have did that besides Jarvis. Right here. Boom, boom. Cha-cha waiting to get the inside advantage. The corner gets the holding. He can't stop holding. They had to throw the flag eventually, man. You feel me? And Baker Mayfield ended up scrambling for the yards, but you get what I'm saying? They holding my boy. So right here, you got Odell lined up in the inside again. And boom, he ends up cha-chaing, runs his out route, and zigs it to come back to the inside. But by then, it's too late because Baker Mayfield's already deciding to throw it to Demetric Felton. So, there's nothing wrong with that. That just wasn't going to go to Odell Beckham Jr. He wasn't open yet. Right here, you got Odell lined up on the outside, and he ends up cha-chaing with the corner a little bit, works his way to the outside, but doesn't matter because Baker's about to get sacked. So, Odell's just not going to get the target this game. That play, it is what it is. You feel me? So, that's that. Right here, Odell's on the outside again. Good stutter step. Ends up beating the corner with that, and the corner starts holding like a hoe, man. Just the hold, and they had to throw the flag. The ref right there. The refs be acting blind, but he had to throw that one. Right here, Odell's on the outside again. Boom. Ends up getting pushed off the route, but ends up being open in that zone. But before you know it, they already threw the ball to Donovan Peoples-Jones, which is definitely the better option there. You feel me? Right here, we got Odell in the slot, and he ends up running a crispy in route, extending for the ball and tucked it quickly without dropping the ball. Right here, they gave him the ball on a simple end around. Didn't take it to the crib like he did last year against Dallas, but it still was a pretty productive play. Right here, you got Odell lined up outside, and look at the route he's running. He runs some type of stuff that takes a long time to develop, but right here, Baker's looking in his direction. Baker knows what route every receiver is running, so he should know that Odell is probably going to be open if he keeps his eyes that way, but instead, he ends up turning away, looks the other way, and Baker ends up running out the pocket after pressure comes, and that is a missed opportunity for Odell Beckham Jr. That probably would have put him at like 80, 100 yards. I don't know. Right here, you got Odell lined up on the outside. He ends up running his comeback route, okay? But as you can see, the ball is already out of Baker Mayfield's hand before Odell can even fully break and turn into his route. The corner already had the drop on the play, and he just went and got the ball. His feet just wasn't in bounds for the pick. Right here, you got Odell lined up on the outside. He ends up getting a good release off the line like always, but you can see they're running zone. Look in the backfield. Baker is under pressure, so he needs to make a decision quick. He's already looking at this guy who I believe is my guy, Hollywood Higgins. He is definitely going to break open on that route. And it makes sense for him to go through with this target to hit him since they are running zone. Nobody's in that area because Odell still needs to break open, and you got to still hope he can get through on his own. And he's not going to have time look that way. So I respect the decision to hit bro. I respect it. Right here, you got Odell lined up on the outside. He gets a good release off the line. But this route takes a long time to develop. So by the time Odell even gets open for this route, Baker is under extreme pressure. You feel me? The only reason why he's probably open is because they thought he was sacked. He escapes the sack and finds a way to throw the ball away. But as you see, they didn't have the protection for Odell to get the ball there. On this play, they got Odell on the outside. He's getting press covered. Tries to get a good release off the line, doesn't necessarily get it. They play good D. Plus, Baker never looked his way anyway. He was looking the other way the whole time and actually ended up throwing it to Donovan Peoples-Jones, and that was a great adjustment for him. Right here, you got Odell on the outside, gets the outside advantage on the corner, but you can argue that that safety over top was probably going to be able to help depending on how Baker Mayfield threw the ball, but he wasn't even looking that way from the get-go. So by the time he looked that way, the opportunity would have been gone for sure. So Baker, he ends up escaping the pocket and running for his yards anyway, but you can argue that may have been a missed opportunity. Right here, you got Odell lined up on the outside. He ends up beating the corner with the stutter step, and he ends up adjusting to the ball and keeping his feet in bounds at the same time. So Odell definitely still got the skill. I don't know what people keep saying. Right here, I want you to pay attention to Baker Mayfield as he ends up having to escape the pocket. And when the opportunity comes to throw the ball downfield, Odell isn't necessarily open. They're playing good D. There's guys that are there to interfere with that ball. So what Baker does is escapes that man and keeps the ball himself and runs for as many yards as he can pick up. Right here, Odell's lined up on the outside. Ends up running the cool route. They get to holding him again, man. And before you know it, Baker end up getting sacked. Should have been pass interference. Right here, you got Odell running his route. Ends up running a little slant slide, skinny post, or whatever you want to call it. And he ends up catching the easy pass. And, you know, it's being a little difficult to get down. Right here, you got Odell on the outside. Boom. Runs a good route. Gets the inside advantage. He's wide open. And he ends up getting the ball thrown to him. But it's a terrible pass, and it was slightly late. Right here, you got Odell lined up on the outside. He ends up getting a good release off the line. Gets the outside advantage, and he's wide open. The ball is just not thrown the way it needs to be. So, with that being said, you guys can feel free to feel how you feel about this footage. This is damn near every single snap. The only ones I didn't include was the snaps where Odell was obviously not going to get involved in the offense, or when Baker Mayfield just simply dumped it off for a screen or whatever. But this is every single snap. What I took from this was that I seen that Odell Beckham Jr. was still giving defenses issues. He knows how to get open. He knows how to get open off the line. He knows how to run good routes. And he made defenders hold him. They prioritize Odell Beckham Jr. They will double him if they need to, you feel me? So that's one thing. On top of that, I did see that there were some opportunities missed for Odell to show that he is an elite receiver. You feel me? Some opportunities, rather they were deep or midfield or on the sideline, you know? There were opportunities missed. Some of those was on Baker, but some of those was just because the O-line wasn't blocking and the timing just didn't match up, you know? Or sometimes Baker wasn't looking his way. But Baker definitely did miss sometimes. That's not cool, you know? So, with that being said, you know, he still put up, I think, 7 catches for 78 yards. That's still pretty solid for his debut after tearing his ACL. And I'm pretty sure as the weeks goes on, since we don't even have Jarvis Landry yet for like another 2 or 3 weeks, he will definitely be more involved in the offense, especially if we're playing against weaker teams, you know, because he's more likely to get open or whatever you want to say. So that's how I feel about it. Odell definitely ain't no slouch. But we got to see more, you know? So, that's how I feel. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section about it. And I will be back again next week to show y'all what he does against the Vikings and how he's looking.